Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Darshawn McAway. You're tuned in to Wow Podcast. By all means, go to wowpodcast.me. That's wowpodcast.me.
Now, today we have a special guest. We have Cait Lambert. She is the author and blogger, owner of the Brain Drain Ditch. Cait, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Darshawn. How are you?
I'm doing well. So let's talk about your website. What is the Brain Drain Ditch?
It's an entertainment journalism website gearing towards helping artists get their name out there. Also, I do blog about like what I have actually seen. Everything is if it is on my website, if there's an article about it, I have actually visited the place, been to the venue, seen the band, did the thing. So it's a very personal website like that. It just basically anything culture is on there.
So what got you into this? Like, what was that aha moment, or like I would like to say, what was that wow moment that you said, hey, I want to do this and I want to pursue this? What happened?
Well, this is actually my third blog to try to create in my entire life. I had tried one in college. I had tried one about, I think, 6 months ago, but what really gave me the push to actually do this type of blog and actually have a real concrete vision was, so my previous job, I was working at a jail, and I was sitting there and I was pretty bored, pretty down with my life at the time. And I really thought, well, I miss writing. Do I really still want to write again? What do I want to write about? And so I literally started writing on a piece of paper the intro that you do see on my website on the About page. That is literally what I wrote in jail while working, or at the jail I was working at. And it really gave me the inspiration. Also, I had a friend who was like, Caitlin, you already talk about these bands, these people on your Instagram. Why don't you take it to a next level and talk about it in depth in writing on a blog? And I was like, that's amazing. Thank you. And I'm no longer really friends with this person that gave me the idea, but on honest note, that was really what gave me the aha moment, was literally just them saying that. And I'm like, I'm already doing it, so why don't I just do it on a better level?
So let me ask you this. What was it that got you down, and why did you let it get you down, if you don't mind speaking on it?
I was disappointed about, mainly the reason I had started working at the jail was I have a degree in sociology, and I thought I could help people in jail. One of my goals, I feel like Gracie Lou Freebush from Miss Congeniality saying this, but I want to stop the reconviction rate. That is something that I actually am adamant about wanting to do. I feel like I thought, well, with my sociology degree, I could start working at a jail, then be a probation officer. And then when I actually got there working at the jail, I realized that I wasn't helping them. I realized that there's something way bigger that we need to do in our society to help the people not go back to jail. And then I thought to myself, okay, Caitlin, if I don't want to do this, then what do I want to do? How can I help people? And then I'm like, well, you like writing. And I'm like, yeah, I do. So, and then this all came about. It's like, well, I could help the people that I go see, that I pay money to go see their show, or pay to have their art, or go see their stuff, and actually really help them that way, and it'd be a more positive experience. I'm still very adamant about the reconviction rate, but I felt that I needed to completely change my idea on what pursuing happiness and helping people really is, if that makes sense.
Right, makes a lot of sense. So is this blog I don't want to say is this the end for you, but is this it for you for a while? Like what's next for you?
Well, no, I don't want to say, I don't want to say, I don't want to say it's the end for me. To be honest, I feel like my overall goal, is to, well, one of my dreams is actually work for a real magazine. Well, I say real is like, one that's internationally acclaimed, like the Rolling Stones, for instance. I'm just using that example. Even if it's United States bound, I don't care. Or actually, probably start locally, work my way to more United States global wide acclaim. I'm working on actually putting together a portfolio to, a resume also that just includes just my writing so that I can actually look legitimate when I approach these people and say, hey, this is me. I'd like to write for you, or would that be cool? And yeah, so I'm working on towards that as well.
Yeah, so I think this is where me and you connected. I met you at a party, and you were talking about some of your goals and aspirations, and I said, hey, I have a network of people that listen to my podcast. Why don't you come on? And I still want to, stay true to my word to kind of put that out there. So
of
thank
course.
you for coming onto my podcast. I like to see people pursue their dreams, because it just keeps me from looking over my shoulder, right? And what I mean by that is if things are not going well for you, you may start to look at somebody else and go, well, I don't like that person's life, and, do something towards them. Not to say you in particular, but this is how people get when don't have anything going on in their lives. They start having an idle mind and start thinking that, this person is doing better than me. I'm going to go take from them. So when I see people doing well, it just helps me sleep better at night. So I hope and I expect for this podcast to get out there towards the masses and give you an opportunity to, write for those top magazine companies that you want to write for. Are you going to come out with your own book possibly, or is this blog thing, this is kind of like your book?
This is basically my book. The closest I've ever gotten to writing a book is short stories or fan fiction, and I have more fan fiction than short stories. I say short stories because that's what I feel like all my articles are. It's like I'm taking you on a very short story, because nowadays most people don't have the attention span to sit and read a super lengthy article unless it's like actually as detailed and rich. That's what I try to do, like, because I know a lot of people don't have a lot of time anymore, so to read things like that. So I keep it very simple, very light, very simple, very I call my style like grunge but classy. Like I want somebody who from all masses can read my stuff.
Gotcha. Do you play any instruments?
I actually do not. I sing though. I've been singing since, well, my mother claims I came out singing, but that's probably laughable. But I've been in choir I've been in music since music class since third grade, and I've competed to be a part of choirs in high school. I was in, I think, 3 different choirs when I was in college. I love karaoke. Lord, if I could ever find a church that I'm not very Christian, but I do appreciate the singing that they do. So I would love to find a church or a group of some sort that sings or whatever. I'm in the market for that as well.
Right. All right. So let's tell everybody that's listening who could possibly be an artist or a poet how they can get in contact with you and check out your website.
Oh, yes. To get in contact with me, so the name is the same. It's the Brain Drain Ditch, either on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook, and you can contact me just straight through my email at Cait, Cait Lambert, Lambert @gmail.com.
Well, I'm your host, Darshawn McAway. You're tuned in to Wow Podcast. We're talking to Cait Lambert. She is the CEO, I like to call people, the CEO of the Brain Drain Ditch. Cait, it was such a pleasure meeting you in person and getting the chance to have you on the podcast.
Oh, thank you, Darshawn. I'm so like I said, I'm so glad to have this opportunity to get my stuff out there and to help others. So,
No problem at all.